Whoa, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be checking out Tomb Raider, the 2013 reboot where the series started again and basically where they just started making Lara Croft moan throughout the entire game. So recently I've started doing this thing as I am a small YouTube channel, so I know that there's going to be a lot of new people coming here every now and then. So I've started introducing you to myself and saying one or two things about me just to get that awkwardness out of the way so you can feel a little bit more comfortable. So for today's video, the thing that I'm going to tell you is, I am not one of those YouTubers who's going to scream at the top of their lungs, someone's going to crack a terrible joke and I'm going to like for the content. No, that's not going to happen at all here. This is like an actual kind of like stand-up routine. I tried to make it like, it's sort of like comedy, jokes and things like that, and we tell a story through the game. So if you're not into that and you're just into those siege YouTubers that love subtitles and love unfunny jokes and just love to overreact to everything and shout into their mics, this is not the channel for you. So if you were paying any attention to the intro gameplay, you would have noticed that we were on a boat. And of course, because Lara Croft is on the boat and she seems like someone from a Final Destination movie who was completely cursed, everything starts going very, very wrong. The boat splits in two somehow in some sort of storm. And as you can see, Lara Croft has clearly been playing the Uncharted games as she tries some action set-piece jump. But the guy that catches us, unfortunately, has been tucking in some greasy fried chicken, and my hand slips out of his grasp, and we fall down into the ocean. God damn you, KFC, why are you so finger-licking good? Is that even KFC's slogan? I have no idea. It's the slogan for some sort of fast food. It's honestly quite weird. It doesn't seem to matter what sort of mode of transport she gets, whether it be a plane, train, or an automobile. Oh, John Candy, I love you. Rest in peace, my dude. If you really thought that falling to the bottom of the ocean was going to be the end of Lara Croft, well then you need to gain some brain cells, my friend, because this was a full price game and the time it came out. They wouldn't just kill off the main character after 1 minute. That would be such a weird way of doing things. And there wouldn't be 2 more games made after this one. I mean, like, come on. Seriously, you should know better by now. There's a reason that your parents beat you every night is to try and knock some sense into your brain. We see our friends at the top of the hill, but unfortunately they can't hear us shouting for them because the rain is so bad. No. Wait, is it? No, it's not because the rain is so bad, it's because they all didn't really like Lara that much, so they're just pretending like they can't hear her. Much like when you walk past a house and you hear someone screaming for help in the basement, but you just keep on walking because that's none of your business. Conor McGregor then turns up out of nowhere and knocks us out, so we have no chance of being saved by our quote-unquote friends anyway. And how did I know that was Conor McGregor, you ask? Well, he had the stature of a man, he had a terrific left hook, and he was also beating up a woman. Once again, if you thought Lara Croft would have perished due to a left hook from Conor McGregor, being dragged into a temple and being hung upside down for what could have been hours, you are very, very, very wrong. This girl can take more abuse than my ex-girlfriend. Seeing around Lara as well, there was plenty of dead bodies also hanging upside down. I was beginning to question whether or not this was the Museum of Necromancy, and I was next up on the list. To be honest with you, I'm not really a fan of the idea of someone like J-Station coming in here and doing me in while I'm dead, even though I wouldn't know anything about it because I'd be dead. Still not comfortable with that idea, so I just started vigorously swinging, hoping for some sort of answer to find while I was swinging left and right, bashing into other dead bodies. It was at this point I really started to think to myself, I want to be an adventurer. Who's the best adventurer in the world? Yes, you're right, it's Bear Grylls. What would Bear Grylls do? I mean, that man drinks his own piss when it's necessary. I mean, not really when it's necessary. I feel like he just kind of enjoys it at this point, you know. He's having a coffee in the morning and he thinks to himself, well, this could do with some sprucing up a little bit. Whips the cock out, shoves it in the coffee, sprays in a few bits like it's a nice bit of cream and then mixes it in. Oh yeah, that hits the spot. After drawing some inspiration from Bear Grylls himself and setting my legs on fire, I then proceed to fall all the way down and don't hit my head, but I do land on a nail which goes through my bloody appendix. Jesus Christ, this girl is literally the most unluckiest person I've ever met in my life. I mean, she could try and make some cereal and would probably end up drowning in the milk. Somehow finding the strength to get to her feet, Lara continues on walking to see what she could find in this old abandoned little temple. And we come across this shrine here with a body hung up, and it's actually quite impressive when you really think about it. I mean, look at all the skulls, look at all the candles, look at the way that the body is positioned. This is a work of art, and we should observe it as such. Just because it's not your traditional pen and paper doesn't mean it's not art. Sneaking through as we go, I'm starting to think to myself, oh, we should really try and be as quiet as possible. But clearly Lara was not thinking the same as me. After setting off a 9.2 magnitude earthquake, Lara Croft proceeds to crawl through this tiny little hole, and this guy literally drops from the sky. I have no idea where he even came from. He might have been balancing on the ceiling like Spider-Man, and grabs our feet. I kick him off, and he tells me that he was just trying to help me. But sir, if you're just trying to help someone, maybe don't grab them by the feet. That's a little bit of advice for you there. What I usually like to do is come up behind them with a rag full of chloroform, put it over their nose, and then take them where you want to go. However, though, you have got to make sure you keep your rags separate, because there was this one awkward awkward time where I've gone to chloroform someone, come up behind them, shove the rag in their face, and they've asked me, "What are you doing? This smells like semen." I was like, "Oh, wrong rag, excuse me, excuse the awkwardness," brought out the chloroform, and then we were fine again, but it was just really awkward, and you wouldn't want that to happen to you. Trust me. And I'm pretty sure I found all those missing flights from the Bermuda Triangle. There's one like literally just sticking through the rock right now as I walk past. The curse of Lara Croft politely continues as the cave then comes collapsing in on itself, bringing down many rocks and debris, nearly killing me. I walk past the ship from the Pirates of the Caribbean. I would check if Captain Jack Sparrow was on board, but I haven't got time for that right now. On my way through the collapsing cave, I then find Foot Fetish Man again as he grabs my feet for a second time within about 5 minutes. It's really starting to get rude at this point. He then learns the valuable lesson of trying to help a strong, independent woman in 2020. It's just not going to work no matter how hard you try. He really should have known better here. If you do see a woman in a life-threatening situation, you just leave her to it because they're strong and independent, they can do it themselves, they don't need your help. And I don't know if while being down in that temple she had sex with Spider-Man or something, but she is now literally climbing a muddy, wet wall. Are you seeing this? How vertical this is? What is going on? This makes absolutely no sense. When we escape the temple, we're then met with this beautiful shot of the island, and to give you guys the max benefit of this, I decided to bump up my graphics as high as they could go, but that was a very, very bad idea because the frames dropped quicker than the music teacher dropped his pants when we'd have our special lesson of playing the flute blindfolded. We are then greeted with a title card that says Tomb Raider, just to keep Lara Croft's hopes up and to keep her spirits high. And it was at this point where I thought, wow, I'd really like title cards in real life. You know, you're just walking along, maybe you get quotes from your family, things that they've said to you in your life. You know, things like, "Stop being such a bum," "You're so fucking lazy," "When are you going to get a real job?" "Why couldn't you just be like your siblings?" "Why didn't we get an abortion?" And who could forget the famous "Do you want more bruises that the teachers can't see?" Wow, being a child was such a crazy experience, eh? Anyway, back to the adventures of Lara Croft, and what is she doing? She's literally scaling a plane. Lara, I left you alone for 5 minutes. This is why you keep on getting in so much danger. Now I know how Madeleine McCann's parents felt when they left her alone for 5 minutes. You can't leave some people alone. They'll either go missing or just start scaling Boeing 747s, and it's not worth the risk. We continue on down the road and end up finding our friend Sam's pack. Now, by pack at first I thought she meant her literal vagina had been left on the floor, but no, by pack she meant like a shoulder pack that she'd brought on the trip with her, and Lara makes a really, really pathetic attempt to call out to her.
Sam! They must have come this way.
So after trying about as hard to contact her friend as I try at content, Lara then just decides that she's going to nick every single thing out of Sam's bag and just leave the bag laying on the floor. I mean, like, come on, Lara, that could have been Gucci or Versace. She could have spent a lot of money on that. What are you doing? Why are you leaving it on the floor? You could use that bag as an intimidation technique to the island folk, really flex on them and show them who the boss is, as things like Gucci, Louis Vuitton and Versace are known around the world as symbols of power. We find a nice little spot to sit out for a little bit and camp out at, but then Lara starts to get really, really cold, but this just shows her own fiscal irresponsibility. I mean, you should have packed a jacket, Lara. The first thing that I do when I know that I'm going on holiday is I check the weather for the dates for the place that I'm going to be there, so I know what to pack and what not to pack. If she'd have done the same thing, she wouldn't be caught in this situation right now. It's just terrible planning from her. Lara Croft then goes on her best friend's camera and proceeds to watch the videos on it, which is really just a violation of someone's privacy. There might be things on there that they don't want you to see. I learned this once when I found a camcorder just on the street, picked it up and found out that someone had recorded a Coldplay concert, and I was just absolutely disgusted by what people do in private. They recorded a Coldplay concert like they wanted to watch it again. I was so confused and disgusted, I just chucked it back on the floor and left it on the street alone where it belonged. So after warming herself up by about 10 degrees like the fetus is currently sitting in my oven ready for my lunch, Lara then goes off exploring a little bit more and finds a dead body with a bow on it and thinks, ah, yes, I can use that bow. It's tied to a dead body in the middle of a tree, but yeah, sure, let me just go grab that. Lara Croft being Lara Croft makes everything a struggle, and even wrestling a bow off a dead body was difficult for her, but after that she turns into prime Katniss Everdeen, and no, I don't mean she has her nudes leaked all over the internet, I mean she just starts shooting deer for fun, like a privileged white boy who attends private school and plays rugby on the weekends. We make our way back to camp where we can start upgrading our skills now that we're learning a few things, and wow, you can tell this game was made 7 years ago because it forces me into the decision of picking one skill. I genuinely felt quite violated by this. The game just forced me into it, gave me no option at all. Somebody call BuzzFeed, I need a non-binary, gender fluid thing that wears Invisaligns to write an article about this and how this game forces you into decisions that you don't even want to make. How violated I felt at the time and how violated I do now. Looking back on the recording, I'm actually starting to get some PTSD. I think it's time we end the video, otherwise I'm going to have a panic attack. If you guys want to see more Tomb Raider, then be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. I've got way more footage that I recorded from this night. This is barely even anything of it. This is literally just the intro of the game and that's it. I've got so much more that I can use, so if you want to see more, just let me know in the comment section down below. And if you guys do have any other game suggestions as well, please let me know in the comment section. But if you did enjoy the video, then be sure to leave a like, and if you are new around here and you enjoy the content, be sure to subscribe. It really helps me push my channel and keep on going. Thank you everybody for watching. I really do appreciate it as always, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.